For high-achieving leaders, projecting into the future is a reflex. You build strategic plans, forecast revenue, and map careers with precision, until everything goes entirely dark. But a strange paradox often surfaces in quiet moments. You might find that while you can easily plot your organization's path to 2028, you cannot visualize your own life 3 years from now. This experience has a specific name: 3-year blindness. It's tempting to blame this on simple fatigue, assuming a short break will bring your ambition back into focus. In reality, when the brain detects that the internal resources required to reach a distant goal are missing, it stops rendering that part of the map. The mind has concluded that the current pace is unsustainable, and it ceases to plan for a future it doesn't believe the body will reach. This blankness is the natural consequence of a highly capable person operating with absolutely zero reserves. It marks the exact threshold where thriving ambition becomes pure, white-knuckled survival. Executive life often relies on the idea of having bullets in the magazine, the energy and resilience required to meet high-stakes challenges. Burnout is the moment you realize that magazine is empty. Every reserve you thought you could rely on has been spent. External rewards fail to fix this. A 6-figure bonus or a corner office cannot reload a single round of human energy. This depletion is driven by a biological process called cognitive erosion. As chronic stress levels rise, the brain's capacity for novel problem-solving shrinks. You become trapped in rigid, habitual modes of thinking. When stress hits the survival threshold, the area representing timeline projection flatlines. The biological reality of burnout literally erases the perception of the future. This process reconfigures how the brain handles time, hope, and possibility. This cognitive shift is intensified by the isolation of leadership. The higher you climb, the fewer people you can be honest with. To avoid appearing like a liability to boards or spouses, you keep performing, smiling wider while disappearing further from yourself. This isolation forces a reliance on the professional title as the only remaining source of value, leading to identity fusion. Years of high performance can cause your sense of self to become inseparable from your role. When that role eventually feels hollow or threatened, the resulting identity crisis triggers a total personal collapse. This specific collision of role and self creates a profound existential crisis. When the magazine is truly empty, standard solutions like mindfulness apps or 2-week vacations fail to provide a lasting fix. If you feel this void, you are experiencing a trend that is currently hollowing out the leadership class. Leadership burnout rates rose to 56% in 2024. This pressure has left 70% of C-suite executives considering quitting their jobs to protect their well-being. While escaping the job feels like the only solution, simply changing companies does not fix a shattered sense of self. Fleeing a role without addressing the underlying identity fusion carries the existential void into the next boardroom. Recovery requires a philosophical reckoning, a renegotiation of who you are outside of your achievements. The first step to curing 3-year blindness is acknowledging the silence and admitting that your reserves are spent. It requires you to interrogate the inherited stories you believe about what makes you valuable. The ability to see the future returns when you grant yourself permission to be a human being rather than a high-performing instrument. Disconnecting self-worth from professional performance allows the magazine to refill, providing the space to finally step back into the light.